Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Heather Havenwood. Today is June 11th, 2025, and I want to talk to you today about energy, the new energy. It's a full moon today, but more importantly, I want to talk to you about it, how it relates to business and entrepreneurship. So that you're new to my channel, my name is Heather Havenwood, and I've been an online marketer for 22 years. I made my first dollar online in 1999. And one of the things that I feel like I have done intuitively over those many years is I've been able to kind of tap into where things are headed because that's the market. And when you're a marketer, you're paid for your value in the marketplace. The marketplace really is the what controls business, right? If people don't want EV cars anymore, they do want EV cars. Like the marketplace is what changes everything. And so my point to you on that is as a business owner, maybe you're a coach, you're a healer, maybe you're a solo entrepreneur, if you are, or you're just looking to start your own business and you're maybe in a panic or fear about starting your own business, I want to talk to you about business in this new energy. So that's what this intention of this video is about. I'm a little nervous, so I'm just like, okay. So, first, I want to set this stage here is that I had an awakening back in 2021, and I'm going to be doing a full video about that. But I've always been an empath, and I've always been very intuitive, and I haven't really come forth on that ever in my marketing. My marketing up until now has been very what I call masculine. It's very push marketing. It's been very force. This is who I am, and kind of like an in your face or direct response. And what I'm finding for myself and colleagues is that doesn't work anymore. It doesn't. And it's also not who I am anymore. But what I'm noticing is a lot of the old school marketers who I know are double downing. Like they're double down on that. You know what I mean? Like it's like if it's not working, then I'll try harder kind of thing. And one of the things I'm seeing for myself included is that doesn't work. And that's because the marketplace, you aren't attracted to that anymore. I want you to get that. You, the marketplace, and your clients, right, are not attracted to that anymore. It's almost like they do this because of the old school way of doing, especially marketing, online marketing specifically, direct response marketing was very fear-based, right? This is what you could have, and if you don't buy this now, your life is going to suck. I mean, that's kind of the gist, right? And if you have been online at all for the last 2-3 years or a decade or 2 decades, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And that has been the principles. If you think of it, it's been the principles of marketing and politics forever. And we're seeing that being played out right now on a global stage as well. Like, watch the fear, watch the destruction, look at this, kind of like when you drive by a car wreck, you don't want to look, but you look, right? That's kind of what's happening right now. But what you have to know, and this is for you as a consumer, but also for you as a business owner, is that what you focus on expands. So if your clients or yourself are focusing on the destruction, you're focusing on the force, you're focusing on what's happening, I'm not saying it's not happening, it's happening. But what you focus on expands, especially in this new energy with the new solar flares. And so you have to move out of that and choose a new path. You don't have to, but I encourage you to choose a new path. Because when you focus on harmony, abundance, creation, adding value, serving humanity, serving community, that is the new frequency. That is the new money. That is the new currency. See, up until now, in the marketing world specifically, it was always said that like, if you focus on love and good, you're not going to make any money. Do you want to be spiritual or do you want to make money? That was like, I heard that from stages of my mentors. Like, yeah, I love that you're spiritual, but like, do you want to make money or not? Like, then you have to go into this fear base. If you don't do it, then kind of thing. It's a principle based kind of marketing. And it's been based on human psyche. Let me be clear. All marketing is based on human psyche that we've been programmed for thousands of years. So it's worked. And I'm not saying it's not working at all. It's just not working as well as the marketers would like it to. right? So they're doubling down. And there are people that are still in that fear and they're freaking out. And so they buy things in a way to make them feel better. Oh, I'll buy this seminar, or I'll learn this AI tool, and then I'll feel better that I'm doing something for my future, because people are feeling that things are just slipping away. I get that. They're like, it's like slipping out of their hands. The marketers feel that too. And so one of the things that I'm doing for the last 6 months, I have not made one offer in 6 months. It's crazy. It's June 11th, 2025. My 50th birthday is June 27th. And I've been going through this massive kind of deep dive into my psyche of what I've been trained in versus what the new energy is and who am I going to be inside that new world. One of 2 years ago, I had someone say this to me, and it's on my vision board, and it says, relax, there's a new way of life emerging. I'm going to say that again. Relax, there's a new way of life emerging. I get that now. I so get that. There's a new way of life. There's a new way of seeing things. There's a new way of who we think we are. It's a new way of what community is for us. It's a new way of what family is for us. There's so many things that are new. I know if you're listening to this, you probably are going through a ton of change. Welcome to the universe, right? Like, everyone's going through shifts. What I want to encourage you on that, if you are struggling with that shift, you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. And I feel like my only coaching, and I don't like that word, but advice I could give is, you probably feel like you're moving through two realities. And my encouragement to you is really tap into which reality feels good for you. Not what you're familiar with, but what feels good. So I hope that helps. I try to stay away from what I call that kind of like life coaching, because I do feel in today's world, our job is to really connect with our higher self. Okay, so back to marketing. So one of the things I'm noticing, and many things that I'm noticing, is that the old school in the marketing world, okay, I'm not talking politics right now, is crumbling. It is, they're doubling down in their own little man groups. I cannot tell you how many things I've seen on Facebook where they're like all getting together, and it's all men. They're like, they're all getting together, like, and they're definitely keeping women out. And the way they are using it as an excuse is like, well, we have our own groups. It's been interesting to kind of hear all that. The other thing that I'm seeing is that they're putting out there everything's okay. Like, they're going on trips or whatever. Like, they're buying a new Ferrari, whatever. But in the background, I know people that they owe money to, things like that. And one of the things in the last 6 months that I did, and I'm just being transparent, is I knew that I was going through a shift. And I knew that I couldn't put out an offer that was aligned with my future, because I knew I was going through a shift. And so I cut every expense. I mean, it was actually really lethargic. It was like going through my closet. There were so many expenses I had that were like, why am I paying? It was very lethargic for me. I went through every single line on my credit cards. A lot of my credit cards I just closed. And so I would get these like, you owe membership fee. And I'm like, what's that? It was really lethargic. And I like trimmed my expenses by 3/4, believe it or not. And I got really resourceful, and I got really aware of what money is and around energy and frequency. I literally cut my expenses, 3/4 of what my monthly expenses were to now. It literally is 1/4 of what it was back in December. Crazy. So my point is, and it wasn't out of fear. It wasn't like, oh my God, cut expenses because we're full. It was like, money is energy. Money is frequency. So if I'm plugged in to a group, maybe I'm in a group coaching program, does that program, not the people, but does the person leading it, are they in alignment with who I am now? And there were groups I was in because like, I know people, But the leader or the head person or who I was paying the money to, let's just put it that way, the bank account that it was going to, I was no longer aligned with. And what was fascinating to me was like when I removed myself from that group, AKA stopped paying this leader, like that's where the money went, right? To his bank account, or it was a he. I lost all these friends. And I thought to myself, why is it that I have to pay his bank account for you and you and you and you and you and I to be friends? It at first it like really bothered me. But then I remembered Relaxer's a new wave of life emerging. And I realized, oh, this is about new frequency. Not better than, lower than, none of that. Just new frequency. I'm moving into a new frequency. And they're in a frequency. And our frequencies just don't match anymore. It's very simple. It's not better than, less than, even though people do that. Like, well, you're not in our group. And so therefore you're out, like maybe we're just no longer in frequency. You know what I mean? And so one of the things I want you to consider as you're building your business right now, I'm assuming that you are an entrepreneur, maybe you have a membership, maybe you want one, is to really look at what I'm creating or what I'm birthing or what I have birthed and what I'm nurturing, because that's how I see business now. We no longer launch, we birth. We birth the community name. We birth the intention of the community. We birth the program. We birth the program name and the intention of what people transformation will happen once they go through the program. What's the intention? What's the birthing? And then we do what we do best as women. We nurture people. We nurture people through the transformation. We don't push them through it, or we don't yell at them with like, well, you didn't get it. What's wrong with you? Like, that's a lot of the old masculine patriarchal bro club. It is very much like, well, if you did the course, you would get it. Well, I don't know what's wrong with you. Like, no more. If that serves you, go for it. I think now where we are as a society and as a marketing industry, and I use that term loosely, I call it the online marketing world. That is an industry, but I've been in it for so long, I feel like yours, is that it is now time to learn to create newly. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm a channeler. I don't talk about that a lot. I've never channeled publicly. I've never channeled for anyone. I do channel, and I'll have another video about that. And one of the things that I've been receiving information on is that there is literally a new way of doing business birthing. And there's going to be, I'm not calling it two realities, but there's going to be two big realities, right? There's multiple realities and multiple paths, but two realities where people that are pushing and forcing and doing the direct response, and if you're not doing speaking business right, you're an idiot, or only this way, or look at me, I've made $20 million in the speaking industry, and if you haven't, you're an idiot. Like, that's a lot of the marketing. Look at me, I've made $1 million in 3 days at an event, and it just happened to happen, but they don't talk about that they spent $250,000 on ads. You know what I mean? So my point is like transparency inside of marketing is where I'm going. And transparency of the truth and the true path on how to build a business online, how to serve a community, how to birth a community, how to have intentionality around that community, and to help people through their transformation, right? How you can create that space in such a way that will be abundant. You will receive, they will receive, and then there is a massive amount of abundance. So with that said, one of the things I want to talk about is my new birth. So my new birth that I'm birthing is called Sovereign CEO Academy. Now I want to share with you about that. I've been pregnant with that for many months. So I'm not just pulling this out of the ethers, you know what I mean? Like, I'm literally gotten a download about this, and every single word is very specific. So before I go into every single word, I want to say that I think there's a new female language that's being allowed to be heard, including no longer launching a business, we birth a business. We no longer grow a business, we nurture the business, right? We no longer scale the business, right? We expand, okay? We expand it so it's like a child where the expansion of the child no longer needs you every single day. It's no longer needing you, right? If you look at motherhood of a child, okay, you're pregnant with it. That's the idea for 9 months, no matter what. Men have not been able to change that. It's 9 months, give or take. And then they birth the business, birth the idea. And then what happens? They don't get mad at the baby for being like, why aren't you running? No. Why aren't you making me $1 million? It's like 2 days old. So allowing it to birth, right? Allowing it and allowing you as the mother, as the CEO of a business to nurture it, right? And allowing it to tell you what it needs, because a true business that has clients it's serving will tell you what it needs. Oh, you really want more of this? Let me give you more of that. I can create a program around that. I can create a community. That is truly how I believe business will be done. It will be done in my world that way. Then you grow it and nurture it and grow it and nurture it and grow it. And first it's like always on you and it needs you, it needs you, it needs you, it needs you, it needs you. It always needs you, right? And then comes a point where you're like, wow, I put some systems in place and some structures and some boundaries. And, now they have the big bed. They're no longer in the crib. I can actually leave for 2 hours and the baby won't freak out. I can, go on a vacation for 3 days and everything's still kind of working. Like that actually is how you build a business. I believe motherhood is literally training. It is training for building business. It takes, 16, 17 years for the thing to come out, hopefully pay you back, right? Takes 4 or 5 years for the kid to, you're not going to leave the kid at home when it's 6, but you may leave the kid at home with a nice manager and a babysitter for 2 weeks. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is where there is so much correlation between motherhood and business. And that's why I believe with my heart that women are fully designed from birth, because we are innately mothers. Anyway, we are designed to be entrepreneurs. Women are designed to be entrepreneurs. We're good at it. We're really, really good at it. But the systems you have been taught from the Bro Club doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for you. Those systems don't work for you and me because they're designed for men. First of all, men have I can go into all kinds of things of hormone. Men have a 24-hour cycle of hormones. We have a 26, day. They have a 24-hour. So there's all these things. But if you are taught and work with someone that understands who you are and what you naturally do and how you can build and grow and nurture in a beautiful business that serves your life, that's my intention, because I have had to shift and learn how to get in alignment with an offer, not just push an offer, how to get in alignment with an offer. And I can go into that more. And that's what I've been doing for 6 months. I've been doing that for 6 months. I've literally been sitting inside of alignment, because when we're in alignment with ourselves, which is aligned with our higher self, but then when higher self is in alignment with our destiny, called God, universe, timing, right? When all three are aligned, abundance, man, abundance. It is in alignment that things can be birthed, they can be nurtured, they can grow, and abundance just flows. And this is a new way of a life emerging. And that's what Sovereign CEO is. And by the way, CEO does not stand for Chief Executive Officer. No. No. CEO stands for Conscious Energetic Oracle, which is what you are. So it's Sovereign Conscious Energetic Oracle Academy. You are an oracle. Throat chakra, you are an oracle. So if you've ever been called to speak more about a topic, share more about a topic, that's the oracle, that's the energy, that's who we are. Frequency of voice. This video is getting long, I'm sorry. So I just wanted to wrap it up here. If this is your first time visiting, my name is, like I said, Heather Havenwood, and this is what this channel is all about. This is my new birthing of who I am and who I will be showing up as, because it is in alignment with me, it is in alignment with my higher self, and it is in alignment with the new energy on this earth, right? And so if this frequency is in line with you, thank you so much for listening. But more importantly, honor yourself. So if that's that little voice in your head's like, oh, we really want you to start this thing or start this business or start that, like whatever that voice is, listen to her. Listen to her and ask her questions. Okay, what do you want me to do right now? Okay, I'm a yes. What do I do right now? Because our brain will go to the how when the higher self is like, will you just agree to yes? Will you just agree that you're a yes? Because what we want to do is like negotiate with it. Well, like what, why and how versus like, okay, I just want to make sure you want me to do this one thing. Yeah, okay, great. Okay, I'm going to do it. I don't know how. Can you tell me, I'm willing to do it. Now what? So these are the kinds of things that in my Sovereign CEO Academy, I'm going to help women through. And then of course, AI and all the tech, because I'm a total tech geek, and I'll be going to the technology and course and the AI and the right tools and the which ones to use, which ones not to use, how do you structure and put structure in your business to align? Because I believe, this is what I believe, and I want you to hear this, is that I believe it, I know it, and I see it, is that the feminine voice is being raised right now and growing at the same time and at the same velocity as AI. Now, media is focused on AI more, but that doesn't mean the feminine voice is not rising at the same velocity, the same speed. Here's why I believe they are both being birthed and expanded at the same time on this planet at this time. This is my belief. AI is kind of the masculine, and it's going to help the feminine and create the container and the structure, which is really the masculine, right? The container and the structure and the tools to hold and move the feminine up. I believe it. So in my Sovereign CEO Academy and everything that I'm going to be producing now, I'm going to be talking about the spiritual and the connection to alignment and birthing your truth and birthing your business. Yes. That's the feminine. But I'm very big on technology and structures to serve. They're tools, right? They're tools. They're tools for the house. And they're amazing tools. And I've been spending almost a year and a half, 2 years learning the tools. So anyway, thank you so much for listening to this video. I hope this video has served you. I don't even know what I'm going to be putting below or links. I'm sure there'll be something. This is really the first video I'm putting out there about this new Heather. Yeah, like a new Heather and a new energy. And I hope that I can serve many, many people in the feminine energy and helping them expand their voice, uncage their voice, uncage themselves, and step into their power, step into their essence, and step into their abundance. Because that's something I know energetically. I know, that's what I'm here to do, is to help more people to be abundance in their own sovereign business, no matter where they're at in the world, no matter what their age, no matter what their, how they call it, creed, ethnic, race. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter the age. It doesn't matter where they live. It doesn't matter what language they speak. Honestly, and I hope to do my course in different languages. Like, no kidding. I really want to have an international audience. I'm very big on having an international woman audience because I want to serve women globally. It's big for me. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy my video.